With a nearly 50-year acting career, Denzel Washington has collaborated with many of Hollywood's top directors. The Oscar-winning actor has appeared in over 50 movies in his career, earning accolades for his gripping, dramatic performances. However, Washington also chooses to work with talented filmmakers and has a few frequent collaborators. Throughout his career, the Gladiator II actor has worked with Ridley Scott, Tony Scott, Penny Marshall, and Robert Zemeckis. He's teamed up with Antoine Fuqua several times, including Training Day and the Equalizer films. His upcoming film, Highest to Lowest, is his fifth collaboration with Spike Lee, who directed him to an Oscar nomination in Malcolm X. Washington, 70, told Today Show Australia in a 2024 interview that he plans on retiring soon, but wants to do things he hasn't done before he stops acting. There are still plenty of filmmakers out there who he hasn't worked with yet, but could make movie magic if they decided to collaborate. Here are 10 directors Washington should work with before he retires. 10. Ryan Coogler. Washington will work with Coogler in Black Panther 3. Coogler is one of Hollywood's biggest directors, especially after the success of Sinners. The director gained recognition for 2013's Fruitvale Station, then made a name for himself through high-profile projects like Creed and Black Panther. He's a director who knows how to get the best out of his actors, allowing many of his stars to shine even in the midst of an ensemble. During his 2024 interview, Washington revealed that one of his upcoming projects is Black Panther 3. Not many details have been announced for the third film as Marvel hasn't officially confirmed it, but Coogler did confirm to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony that he's been speaking to the actor about it for a long time. Regardless of Black Panther 3's status, Coogler and Washington are a match made in heaven. The director knows how to bring dramatic heft to his films, even in more fantastical environments like the MCU. While Washington has never done a superhero movie before, he will thrive in the environment Coogler has created. 9. Steven Spielberg. Washington would be perfect for one of his smaller films. Steven Spielberg is the father of the modern blockbuster. He's best known for hit films like Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., and the Indiana Jones films, but he has also created many smaller films that may have flown under people's radars. Films like Amistad, The Fabelmans, and The Post show his ability to tell more intimate stories that are propelled by drama rather than action. Washington would excel in any Spielberg film, but his more low-profile flicks may be more of the Training Day actor's style. However, he is showing more willingness to do things outside his normal range. Spielberg's next film is his untitled UFO project, and while Washington isn't in it, he should be at the top of the list for whatever the director does afterward. 8. Ava DuVernay. DuVernay tells powerful stories that are perfect for Washington. Ava DuVernay in Marvel talks. Washington has starred in many projects that center around challenging historical or fictional issues within the black community. Several films, like Malcolm X, Glory, and Remember the Titans, feature some of the actor's best performances in impactful narratives that tackle the civil rights movement, the Civil War, and desegregation. Ava DuVernay is one of Hollywood's most thought-provoking filmmakers, and continues to create projects that highlight many injustices that have affected communities or continue to. She has been celebrated for her work on films like 2014's Selma and 2023's Origin, along with the miniseries When They See Us, and the documentary 13th. DuVernay's next project isn't confirmed yet, but Washington would be perfect for whatever she has planned. Not only would he provide a great performance, but the powerful narrative would be heightened thanks to the actor's presence. 7. Martin Scorsese. Washington should join his next crime thriller. American Gangster and Training Day are two of Washington's most memorable films, with the latter leading to an Oscar win. He excels in crime thrillers, something that is also Martin Scorsese's specialty. The director is known for his stylistic gangster crime films like Goodfellas, The Departed, The Irishman, and Gangs of New York. His last film, Killers of the Flower Moon, continued his streak of creating award-caliber crime films that expose some of the most despicable people in American history. Scorsese still hasn't worked with Washington, but their tendencies would work perfectly together. Scorsese has a fascination with exploring flawed, but intriguing individuals, and one of Washington's strengths is bringing charisma and likability to complex characters. Scorsese's next projects include an adaptation of Devil in the White City, and films centered around Jesus Christ and Frank Sinatra. These projects will likely include Leonardo DiCaprio or Robert De Niro, but Washington is someone who the director should consider working with. 6. Quentin Tarantino. It would be a sweet retirement for both parties. Quentin Tarantino has never directed Washington in one of his movies, but the two have worked on another movie before. The Pulp Fiction director delivered some uncredited work to the script for 1995's Crimson Tide, Tony Scott's submarine action thriller starring Washington. Reportedly, a feud brewed between Washington and Tarantino over offensive dialogue that the latter suggested for the script. However, the two buried the hatchet after Washington's daughter, Katia, worked with Tarantino on Django Unchained. The director is supposedly only making one more movie before retiring. Originally, it was meant to be The Movie Critic, but that idea was scrapped. If Washington joined his last film, it would be a remarkable way for the two of them to end their careers. 5. Barry Jenkins. Jenkins could direct Washington in another Best Picture winner. Barry Jenkins. Jenkins proved his talent as a filmmaker with his second film, Moonlight. The film won Best Picture at the 89th Academy Awards, as well as Best Supporting Actor for Mahershala Ali and Best Adapted Screenplay. His follow-up, 2018's If Beale Street Could Talk, was also highly praised, receiving multiple Oscar nominations. Since 2018, Jenkins has also been busy producing projects like 2022's Aftersun and 2025's Sorry, Baby. After directing 2024's Mufasa, The Lion King, Jenkins could be looking to return to telling unique and powerful stories about the black community. Washington would pair well with the director, and it could be another opportunity to add more awards to his mantle. Many actors from his films have received Oscar nominations, and Washington would easily rise to the occasion. 4. Christopher Nolan. Denzel wouldn't be the first in his family to work with Nolan. Christopher Nolan is the king of Hollywood right now. His Best Picture-winning film Oppenheimer made nearly $1 billion, an impressive feat for an R-rated biopic, and his next film, The Odyssey, is selling out theaters a year in advance. His films always have fantastic ensembles, yet Washington hasn't been a part of one. However, his son, John David Washington, starred in 2020's Tenet, setting up a link between Denzel and the British-American director. While Nolan's films are typically grand blockbusters, he adds so much style and unique storytelling techniques that make his films distinct.